Tonight on KGW News.
Oh, yep, it's him.
2 men caught driving around and shooting out the window.
I was playing with the baby on the bed, and then all of a sudden I heard, 7, 9 shots.
With bullets coming way too close to some homes.
And tricky winter weather has crews preparing for all possibilities.
We feel like this is the right response.
The spots seeing snow now and how it's all shaping up tomorrow. Plus,
we're married, yes.
The Oregon courtroom going all out to give couples a romantic Valentine's Day wedding. Good evening, everyone. We start this Wednesday night with the winter weather impacting some areas. This is a live look from our camera in the Dalles. You can see some snow sticking here and there out there.
33 degrees there. Conditions getting iffy in the gorge, but what about the valley? Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino tracking the latest with a storm system that has been a little tricky to predict. Matt?
Yeah, but it's playing out about as we thought it would, with a close call for snow in the valley, but not really happening. Up in the hills, we've had some snow. It's actually turned to rain above 500 feet too. 39 degrees out of the airport. We're 38 downtown. East winds have turned a little bit more southerly right now, but they're really going to be picking up as we go into the next couple of days. And as we look at the temperatures around town, still 35 in Happy Valley, but keep in mind they're up at 1,000 feet. So places like that, much more likely, to get snow than the valley floor itself. 37 up in La Center, 39 in Troutdale. And out of the gorge, this is where temperatures are around freezing, and this is where we are going to see sticking snow and a lot of it. And then up the Hood River Valley, even more, over a foot likely there. So we've had some pretty good rain moving through the metro area this evening. It was coming down pretty hard for a while, but it's going to begin to lighten up from south to north as we go through the overnight hours. So there's a pretty good batch still to our west right now, but you can see not much more to the south of that. So without steady, heavy precipitation to lower the snow level, that's why we're still seeing this cold rain. And in fact, our modeling now still showing a little bit of snow in the West Hills, but not as much as it did in some of our earlier iterations. So the models have backed off a bit on snow for even the hills and even areas near I-205, really confining it now, bottling up in the gorge and in the Cascades, where many people would like it to stay, especially up in the Cascades. Look at that, over 2 feet coming to Mount Hood over the next couple of days. So we'll stick with a trace to maybe an inch of snow. Top of the hill is above 500 to 1,000 feet, but even that is looking more like a trace at best. Could see a couple inches east of I-205. Certainly we'll see that once you get east of Multnomah Falls and Cascade Locks out of the gorge, where we get heavy snow in the Cascades and the gorge. In fact, live from Timberline, you can see it's snowing there right now. There's been about 4 or 5 inches of new snow so far this evening. Guys?
Yeah, good to see. No surprises, at least not yet. Thank you, Matt. Meanwhile, Multnomah County is under a state of emergency tonight, with warming shelters now open because of all the uncertainty in the forecast.
Alma McCarty found out how they opened up more space, so living outside have a place to go.
Wednesday night, 4 additional shelter sites in Multnomah County, like Cook Plaza in Gresham, opened their doors for the possibility of severe weather as the year-round shelter set up more beds. All this after County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson declared a state of emergency.
There's a whole lot of varying models that are sort of showing a lot of different scenarios.
Earlier, we spoke with the county's director of emergency management, Chris Voss, as he and his team quickly organized resources.
We're at the county warehouse now, where we provide everything from wheelchairs to garbage cans, cots, you name it, food, everything we need to run a shelter.
Because of the uncertainty of this weather event and on the heels of pushback after shelters closed amid icy conditions last month, they're mobilizing through the weekend out of an abundance of caution.
And so we're taking a harder look, and certainly we are staffing through this event. So we're recruiting staff right now through Saturday morning with the anticipation, even if this is only one-day event, if we do get a lot of snow and we've got to keep people there in these locations for longer, we'll be certainly in a better position to do that.
Also in a position to respond, PBOT's road crews preparing to take on extra hours if necessary.
PBOT does that proactively through these events, getting our crews ready, getting our equipment ready, so we're in place in case the worst does happen.
They're monitoring hills and overpasses, areas east of 205 and higher elevations like the West Hills.
Watching it all for you, Alma McCarty reporting. Stay with KGW as we track this winter storm and the weather ebbs and flows on air, online, and on KGW Plus. Be sure to download the KGW app as well for the latest forecast.
We're following new developments tonight out of Kansas City after that shooting during a Super Bowl celebration. One person was killed and 21 others were hurt following the Chiefs' victory parade. We have learned the person who died was a popular radio personality and a mother of two. Police say 9 of the others who were shot are children. They are all expected to survive, but 8 adults suffered life-threatening injuries. Authorities also say they now have 3 people in custody. The shooting happened just after a rally near the city's main train station. Players and coaches were already on buses headed back to their stadium. And a warning here, the witnesses' descriptions you're about to hear are disturbing.
We just heard a bunch of, pop, pop, and people started running and scattering.
The girl next to me, where my daughter was standing with her husband, was shot in the mouth. Our children witnessed it. She was on the ground, bleeding from her mouth, all over her shoulder.
So hard to hear. What we don't have is any word on a motive. Police say that they're also working to verify reports that some bystanders in the crowd tackled and held the suspects for officers.
New tonight, video from the sky gives us a unique view of a shooting spree and police chase in northeast Portland. Aerial surveillance recording 2 men, police say, firing out their truck window last night in the Rocky Butte area. Catherine Cook spoke with neighbors who heard that gunfire and ducked for cover. Catherine.
David, neighbors weren't sure what was happening as a truck rolled past their homes firing multiple rounds. It took a pit maneuver by Portland police, including a spike strip, to stop the suspects. The video you're about to see comes from the Portland Police Bureau's Air Support Unit, a small plane that was first on the scene.
Keep your eye on this truck's passenger side window.
Oh, yep, it's him.
That's at least 4 shots fired before the truck zips up northeast Rocky Butte Road near 92nd Avenue. Overhead, the Portland Police Bureau's Air Support Unit, a fixed-wing aircraft.
No, he's going super slow, like just crawling out the tunnel right now. So I don't know if he fired off more rounds in there.
Police started tracking the pickup around 7:20 Tuesday night. Minutes later, more shots.
4-4 Roger. Shooting out towards 2610 on 92nd. It's a residence.
Several homes, in fact.
I was playing with the baby on the bed, and then all of a sudden I heard, 7, 9 shots.
Jeff Pry and his family ducked for cover right before the second round of gunfire.
It sounded like it was literally in our front yard.
Next door at Heather Daniels' house.
My husband came out of the office and was like, "What are you doing? Banging." And I was like, those were gunshots.
More confusion, followed by frustration.
It just seemed so stupid because I don't know if he was firing in the air, but it seemed really pointless.
No one we talked with said bullets hit their homes, but they saw police mark casings in this green space below. Meanwhile,
gonna pass a car in the oncoming lane.
Air One followed the truck from above.
Driving really reckless, 70 miles an hour up 82nd, passing the high school.
Eventually, the truck hit a spike strip laid out by police. The driver continues to elude officers until right here. You can see the truck spin out as officers surround it.
Call it out.
All right, they got it pitted. Come in from behind it and try to box it in.
One suspect jumps out and starts running from police. Another stays behind.
Follow the runner.
Finally, an officer catches up to 23-year-old Adonaldo Cruz Garcia of Gresham and takes him down. They also arrested 21-year-old Ahanu Johnson of Fairview. Inside the truck with 1 flat tire, 2 guns. Police also found alcohol. It's unclear what the suspect's motive was, but for neighbors like Jeff, it doesn't matter.
It's really nerve-wracking to know that people are that silly to go around and shoot guns in the air when there's people, babies, things like that.
The suspects face several charges, including unlawful use of a weapon and recklessly endangering another person. Both will be in court tomorrow. China.
Catherine, thank you. Tiger police say that they have arrested a man that they say burglarized dozens of storage units over the last 2 years. 57-year-old Timothy Council was arrested last week at a storage facility in Tualatin after a lengthy investigation. Detectives then got a search warrant for several units that he was renting. Inside, they say they found piles of stolen property, including things like kitchen appliances, music equipment, sporting goods, bikes, power tools, and some very personal items.
Some of the stuff specifically that we found were naturalization paperwork from the 1920s that was really well preserved, clearly whoever owns that paperwork or whoever's grandparents or great grandparents that belongs to, they've taken good care of it, and so I'm sure they're interested in having that back.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is priceless. If you think that you have been a victim of storage unit theft and maybe your property could be included in this investigation, you're asked to email Tigard Police. That address is tips@tigardor.gov.
Straight ahead on KGW News at 11, the homeless camp sweep that ended with a dozen people under arrest.
Plus, celebrating love one marriage at a time. We talked to couples making this Valentine's Day one to remember.